What's up, everybody? We're going to do a Pulaski today. It's going to be a 40-inch beaver tooth. I've already put it on the, slipped the head on. See, it's touching here, and what I was mainly looking for, since these things are double-ended, I want to set up the straightest that I can get it. Put it on that way. It might be off a little. Go ahead and pull it out before you do any work. Put it on that side and see how that looks. Now that I picked it up, I forgot what side it was because I was just about to mark it. So this isn't going to take very long. This you could actually drive this thing on there like with a hydraulic tool or some other stuff like that and do and clobber it together. I prefer to take a little more time and take the shoulders down so they're narrow in the head. So when you split a piece of wood with it, you're not chipping off sides of the shoulder. Pretty good grain on it. Hopefully you can see it. What is it doing? Okay, it's a little bit diagonal. I don't mind that for Pulaski. You do a little bit of grunt work with them, both prying down and prying sideways, so this is kind of a, this will work fine. I have two of these 40-inch handles I just bought. But you can't guess from where. And this one's a little lighter than the other one. I have several ounces, so I decided to go with it. I'm going to adjust the camera and go to work. See you in a bit. Alright, when I'm buying a Pulaski head, generally I'm looking for FS or U.S. Forest Service on it someplace, USFS. This one had some sort of a label on it. Somebody took it off for some reason. I don't see any markings in the steel. Oh, what do we got something here. Can't really see what that is. Can you see that? Means something. This is like an earlier one I had in one of my videos. It's you wouldn't want to line up the back of this or line this up with the back of this because this is a little bit crooked. They didn't grind it out. That's no big deal. No ridges in here. And that kind of dates the Pulaski. I don't remember ridges before the 1980s, but they might have had them. I'm no expert. I just did a lot of Pulaskis. And when I buy one, I buy a full-length one. Some of the newer Pulaskis will only be that long. That's ridiculous to me. And the heads would be that long. Saves them in steel. But this is a 3 pound and I think it's 3 pound and 8 ounce. Something like that. I didn't weigh it, but it was in the sales brochure. I'm not used to this twisted. In the tools I've used over the years, I'm not used to where they do this with a twist. There's nothing wrong with doing it that way. It just looks unusual because the Forest Service pattern generally doesn't show that. FSS or Actually, FSS is some buying agency for the Department of Agriculture, I think, U.S. Forest Service. They came up with specifications. I tell you, the best way to check for the specifications is if you're buying a new Pulaski, if it's $165, it's probably an FSS. If it's $38, then you better be careful. Okay, I put it back on. I marked one end black, and I put a black dot on here. So the head, or the cutting edge, going that way, the grubbing end's going that way every time. I got a loop, it's starting to pick up the handle, pick up the wood right in here on both sides. So I'm going to shave that a little bit, and at the same time I'm going to bump some of this shoulder off. I didn't want that one. This one. Oh, plain iron. Works good for a scraper, especially if it's been recently filed. I'm trying to make a little knife edge on there in the corner. That's better. The marks here, that means it's thick behind that, so just take it all the way back. Width-wise, I know it's just narrower than the eye, so I'm going to leave that alone. And this is when I started on this shoulder. Every time I'm near it, I take a little bit off. This is what I call a commercial quality. Let me get the thing around here and see if I can. Yeah, there we go. Maybe upside down. That's better. Alright. They cover a lot of these commercial ones with varnish so they'll hold their moisture content in storage. It might be in storage for a long time in a hardware store someplace. The carbon varnish. Personally, I scrape the varnish off first thing. I like that beaver tooth uses wax, beeswax. Not as hard to get off. There's our mark. Okay, black marks here. some point in this process, if you pull out with a plane or a cutting edge of some kind, and it pulls the chip out, then you want to turn around and maybe do the cut in the other direction. Hickory is not quite so bad as some woods. Ash is terrible. I spend a lot more time with the ash sanding instead of cutting. Hickory really cuts nice, and I like that. Okay, I got a little dark mark right here. Come back here. A little bit of sharp edge there somewhere. I read it again, so it must be true. You can feel a thousandth with your fingers. So if you're checking something, they claim you're supposed to be able to feel within a thousandth. I don't know if it's true or not. I use it all the time. Okay, I think it wants to chip. Yeah, it wants to pull grain if I'm cutting that way, so I prefer it not to. I'm just hitting the shoulder, I'm not touching it. Having bumps because it does taper. Got the eye area, the tapered area, and then it stays pretty straight all the way down to the butt. This is an old style double bit. It's roughly 9/100ths, 9/10ths of an inch from the swell here, or from the taper, down to just about right there. And then it swells back up again into the butt. This was done with probably a pocket knife and a piece of glass. I'm not sure that sandpaper was invented when this thing was handled. What's amazing to me is you take a modern measuring device and how it's within a few hundredths all the way through, just with your hands. Okay, I got a sanding block here somewhere. There it is. So far, the only thing I've used a RASP for is sharpen the scraper. See how we're doing. I'm not going to give it a whack yet. I see what I need to do here on the corners. That's what the mark is showing me. That this is high right in here. From here to here. There. Into there. So I'm taking that little bit out there. And starting to touch over here on the corner, on the side. Tiny bit there. I'm starting to get a touch right here. So I'm going to fix this and I'm going to put it back on there and get him probably a whack on it. Okay, I got a tiny divot in there. This is a RASP. And this is a RASP. This is a very hungry RASP, and you can take off a bunch of wood or horse's feet, which is what it was designed for. This is flat and half round, roundish in the back. Very handy. I'm tapering that so when that Pulaski head comes down, it doesn't bump into the shoulder. It just kind of cuts a tiny bit. I guess you can't see me pushing on this, but that's what I'm doing. Okay, I also kind of centered it. Here and here. Now we give it a whack. It's not bad. Starting to dig in right here. A little bit there. And I want it down just another quarter. 3/16 maybe. There it is. See where my thumbnail is? That's where I want it. So it would probably go there just the way it is. And I see a little bit here. Maybe here. As I get the other two corners, just for the fun of it. That would do most people. This is not edited. This is start to finish right here. Well, I'm not finished yet, but just so you know, I didn't do any cuts. From the time I turned the camera on till now is how long that took. And we're starting to see a little cutting there. I see some in here. Tiny bit there. Not quite even. Check for straight. Not bad. Not bad at all. Okay, where'd we go? I'm tempted to whack it on down, but what I want to do is I'm going to take it off before it becomes tight. And then I'm going to cut the slot down if it needs to be, or the wedge. And I'll do that off camera. A lot of you have seen that kind of stuff already. Anyway, almost there. See you in a bit. In the back, before I did anything, edit this part out and start right here. It's just starting to touch on the shoulder here. Solid contact, but none here. None here yet. This much pretty solid contact all the way across. I'm taking it down another, and the way I'm going to do it, I got to take it down as 1/8 of an inch, so I'm going to knock that little chip off so it stops bumping into it. I'll sand this with a piece of sandpaper on some sort of round object to make a nice little curve in here. Same over here. That'll take off those sharp corners. Y'all can see that, right? All this sharp stuff. I'm going to take that out with a piece of sandpaper. Alright, now actually it's not bad. I'm going to go ahead and run a saw in it a little bit though, because I am going deeper than they probably figured. So I'm just going to drop this down to 2 3/16. See you in a bit. Now you guys can stand on that side for a while. This is, I don't know if I think I might have missed the part where I was talking about sandpaper. Cheap sandpaper is not cheap. Get something decent. This is kind of an open coat 80, I think, and I got a wrapped around a round thing. Suit yourself what you want to wrap it around. And what I'm doing is taking this little ridge off. I'm not going to do any more cutting. I'm starting up here on the back, up on the shoulder. There's that nick that was holding us back right there. Well, this video camera shooting cuts into your action when you're trying to actually do a job in a certain amount of time. Hope y'all realize that. Some of these real artists with a camera. Takes you 4 times as long to cut a tree down and that kind of stuff. Just saying, not complaining. If I didn't want to do it, I wouldn't be doing it. I took a lot less off that side. I'm going to have to check for straight. I sink it in the last time. What are you going to do about you? I know what I'm going to do is get my little rat tail. And I'm holding up on it, I'm not pushing down. I just want that thing to come down in there and sock it in right in that bit. This is a little square on these edges. Can you see what I'm talking about? I think so. Right out here square and out here square. So we're going to slightly round it. Again, I'm holding up. Barely touch it. Feeling for high spots. Okay, this is black and the black dot. Let's put it on the right side up. Pretty straight to me. Like that 40-inch handle doesn't fall on the floor. Why 40-inch? So you can stand up and grub. You see what I'm saying? I'm looking in here for daylight and I'm not seeing any. Now let's get serious about it and hit it with a real axe. If I can find one, there's got to be one around here somewhere. Speaking of ash, that's my, I'm not sure what to name this thing yet. Maybe somebody's got an idea. That's a homemade ash handle. And if that ain't pretty, I don't know what is. It's got a little weight to it. You walk in the woodshed with that rascal and the wood just kind of falls apart. I'm trying to get that. How you do that? Like that, I guess. See the bevel in that thing? Let's see, she's home. even in the center of the eye. Touching all the way around, but not pushing any chips up. We got a good prep work done there. Sorry about that, I was looking. So you can look at the time on this video, and that's how long it takes to get it ready to put a wedge in. If you're working with decent handle stock and etc. I will spend some time on that the head a little bit. It's pretty good for an eBay buy. I like the curve. It's just about right. I'm going to have to file most of those chips out of it. And this end's not plumb wore out. This has been used by a firefighter because it's filed straight across now. When this come out of the factory, this would have been curved. There we go, and all 40 inches of it. There you go. Thanks for coming by. Like and subscribe. Bye-bye.